right, everyone. So we are with Ed Bocchino, Homebridge Mortgage. And Ed, can you hear me?
Sure can. Good morning, Alyssa.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys doing? How are you holding up?
We are doing well. We are certainly keeping our 6-foot distance, but we are semi-quarantined and still working.
So our first question, which I think a lot of consumers right now are thinking, is that why are mortgages going up?
The last few weeks have been extremely volatile. And what it really is, it all started out with very low interest rates. You know, people were lending in the high twos, and a lot of refinance business was coming in. This was pre-coronavirus, so there was a lot to do with, artificially increasing rates, specifically on refinances, and this is industry-wide, just to slow down the production of new refinances. Then Federal Reserve is pumping money into, not directly to the mortgage companies, but they're pumping money into what's called mortgage-backed securities, right?
And what's that? What's mortgage-backed securities?
Yeah, so mortgage-backed securities really is, mortgage-backed securities is a security that's traded on Wall Street based on who has interest in buying into that investment or not, right? It's a security, it's a trade. So the quick of it is, the Federal Reserve, when people say the Fed rate cut interest rates, it really has not much to do with mortgages. So they could bring their Fed rate down to zero. That doesn't do anything for us. What does control mortgage rates specifically is the supply and demand, or the interest or lack of interest in investing in mortgage-backed securities. And these are just large institutional investors and regular investors that buy into it just like they buy into any stock. The challenge that has happened with the fear of coronavirus is that a lot of folks were moving to a cash position. Generally speaking, when folks are not buying stocks, they're looking to buy into something that is more stable and safe. And that would be treasury bonds and mortgage-backed securities. Well, with the level of fear and unknown with the virus, folks were pulling out of just about everything.
So you're saying that many investors are taking their cash that they invested in mortgage industry and taking that out?
Across the board, whether it would be equities, now every day is up and down, right? But as a whole, as a trend, yes. The government's doing everything they can to really try to support the housing market. Forget the mortgage companies, because we all buy our money from the same place.
Thank you so much, Ed. We really appreciate your time, and thank you for answering all these difficult questions. And hopefully it does work out and it gets better here. Thank you.
But we're on our way. Thank you, Alyssa.
All right.
Hello, Alyssa. This is Angie. How are you?
Hey, Angie. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Staying busy.
I have a few questions here for you that may answer some of their curiosities. You said you're still having closings, right?
Yes, we are still doing closings. How we do them has changed a little bit. There's a lot more mail-aways. There are fewer people coming into the office. We're asking that just the persons who have to sign come. They don't bring their whole family, or we're even asking agents, hey, we appreciate that you want to be here for your client, but let's just keep everybody safe and only have those parties that need to come in.
And do you see people backing out, like after a ratified contract, or people calling you saying, hey, should I be doing this right now?
No, I've only had one client who's changed her mind, and honestly had very little to do with COVID-19. In this month in March, we looked at the end of last week. We had actually done received just as many closings this month last week as we had the entire month of March last year.
Do you think that we'll see changes later on?
From my perspective, because you guys get the contracts in and then I get them. Yeah. So I'm basically, how many contracts are closing is basically, for me, I'm usually a month behind how many contracts you got signed, right? So I'm wondering if, say, in the next 2 weeks, starting next Monday, if we're going to see a slowdown. But a lot of my agents are saying the same thing you are, Alyssa, that it's people are still out there still buying. Especially investors, they're still out there. They're half the time they don't even care what the property looks like. They want to buy it because they want to rent it out.
Recordings are online now?
Yes, we are. Everyone is now doing their recordings online. Sometimes we typically would do ours in person just because we prefer to do it that way. But whenever we have a situation like this, whether it's COVID-19 or a hurricane or anything that's going to slow us down, we switch to online recording. And in a lot of cases, it happens even faster. Now, yesterday we did notice a lag in the recordings. We saw that there was getting to be a buildup because there's only so many people at the courthouse to get this done. So we might find that it's a little slower than it might have been if we had gone in person right now, if they continue to stay busy. But that's a good thing. If they're busy, then we're happy, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And finally, what is your advice right now to people that are kind of in the process or about to thinking about buying a home maybe?
Yeah. So I guess if you're in the process, keep an eye out on those interest rates because my mortgage guys are telling me we're going to see that benefit in the next 2 weeks is what I'm thinking.
Really?
So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hearing. I can't make any promises to anybody, right? But that's what I'm hearing. So keep a close eye on those rates and pounce on it when it gets to be a good one. And then, start going ahead and starting looking so that you know what it is you want. Make sure you know what price range you're looking for and just be ready. Continue to stay in a constant contact with your realtor. They can send you properties online so that you can continue to look at those. And if there is one that you really want to view in person, then, talk with your realtor about what safety precautions you can take to do that.
Thank you so much, Angie, for your time. And, we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Alyssa. Y'all have a great day and go out there and house hunt.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks. Bye.